This Target Thursday episode is brought to you by Target. Ladies, back to school season is officially here, which means another reason to take that weekend trip to Target. And when you're there, make sure you check out their newest kids clothing line, Cat and Jack. High quality, classic, playful apparel in a cool new way. Oh, and by the way, Cat and Jack is made to last. So if it doesn't, guests can return it up to 1 year later. 1 year later with a receipt through a 1 year guarantee. See you at Target. I don't get hate mail today. Like Paulina, you've been replaced.
Just kidding. Paulina.
Wait, in a couple of weeks, did I tell I'm going on vacation?
No. Yes. Vacation.
I'm going on vacation as well. So in a couple of weeks, there'll be another co-host in my place. So I shouldn't be too hard right now. My sister she's going to be like, Bricia, you're fired.
Yeah, the karma is real.
I know. So I have a guest co-host today because Paulina is on her family trip.
Yes.
Can you introduce yourself, Miss?
Sure. My name is Linda Garcia, a.k.a. Lose Warrior.
Okay. You have a sex voice. And I watched your latest makeup tutorial on YouTube.
Yes.
Linda, a.k.a. Lose Warrior, has a YouTube channel. We have issues.
Yes.
What's the name of, is there a specific link to go onto your YouTube channel?
It's basically if you just Google We Have Issues, all one word, and that's the name of my YouTube channel. That's
issues like as in shoes, ISSHOES. Anyway, so she has great videos and makeup tutorials. And her latest one, she did a voiceover, and I was watching it, and I texted you, and I was
away.
And I was like, ooh, what is this voice you're using?
Well, it's my sexy radio voice.
Yeah, I'm like, is this late night,
total late night?
So then you get the highlight, and you pop it in like this, and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm digging this. And we have also in the room your little baby. How is it going?
Oh my goodness.
You're a new mommy-ish?
Yes.
New mommy for the second time.
Ish for the second time after 21 years. So it's definitely, we live in a new age, new everything. So I would definitely call it new mommy experience for sure. It's been pretty crazy. I have always been extremely career oriented. I mean, to the extreme.
You have. That's how I met you.
Yes.
Well, that and you always cry.
Yes. I'm a crybaby. I'm very emotional, very sensitive. But I remember being asked about 2 years ago from a friend while I was at work, and she was like, we were talking about the possibility of having children, and she said, how long would you take off of work if you had a baby? I was like, 2 weeks max. There's no freaking way I'm going to stay inside a house with a baby.
Right,
you got me.
You don't even know who I am.
Yeah. And she laughs at me now, and she's like, I wish I would have recorded you, because I am not working. I've officially decided to take a full year off of work.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I just can't imagine anyone else caring for him in the way that I could care for him.
That gives you that anxiety, right, of letting go. Does it give you anxiety, or are you just kind of I can't,
there's no way. It's I can't even process the thought of it happening. We haven't been separated. We've been separated once for a wedding, and it was a wedding that I had to attend. And that was really difficult. I was leaking. I was engorged. My boobs were going to slap me in the face. It was awful. It was awful.
Did you slap someone with your boobs later on that night?
I mean, I was annoying that whole day. Yeah. No, none of that.
That's a different issue.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
We should save that topic
for
later.
Save that topic for my late night voice radio.
Anyway, okay, so you were so you haven't been separated to this day. How old is little Benicio now?
4 months next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 6 more months.
Yeah, but I see girls that friends on Facebook.
I was out. I was in Chicago for 3 days, so my baby was 6 weeks.
I like see my friends on Facebook like date night, and their children were born like days apart from Benicio. There's 3 other girls that are days apart, and I'm like, WTF? Like, what? There's a part of me that's really envious, and then there's a part of me that, like, because I'm envious, I have nothing else but to resort into judgment.
I love the way that you put that in there. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, well, how could they do something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other choice, but I know that we're definitely getting to the place where I need to just. There's things I have to do. Yeah.
It'll come.
I mean, I was at your Target dinner, and my son was in the office, and I was running in between
and I was like, that kid should be asleep.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, again, it's like, I think it's what my sister and I always say, like, everyone makes decisions they need to make for their family.
Right.
Like, nobody knows what's going on in your home but you.
Yes.
So I love the way you put 2 and 2 together. Like, I'm envious, so then I judge. So I think, like, that's the way we do, right? Where there's like a little part of us that feels like the grass is greener on the other side, kind of. So it's like, well, I'll just judge to make myself feel better.
Absolutely.
But to me, for example, I know, I think he was at home with someone from the moment he was 3 months, where I would leave for full days. But it was like that specific person that was like a mom of like a really good friend of mine.
Sure.
So I felt confident. To me, the thought of taking him to a daycare was like the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I remember, like, my sister took her kids to go to daycare since they were super young. And I was like, but how could, like, to me, it was like, but what if, like, they don't give him the milk in this? What if, like, they mess up the milk? Like, what if he's crying? Nobody pays attention to him. Like, there's so many things that we get so much anxiety about.
Yeah.
And now I just dropped off my baby he went back to school. I call it school, which makes me feel better, I think.
Sure.
It's daycare.
And it is. And it essentially it is. It's a place where he's learning.
True.
Right? So.
And I feel that's the way school should be.
Yeah.
For sure. I think
it's a place where you should be cared for as a child, most definitely.
No matter from K to 12 or before.
Absolutely.
Like, it shouldn't be like a place where you go sit down and like do multiple choice questions. And then my other baby, Diego's here.
Hello, Diego.
He's like, love, finally,
yeah.
Affection. No, we've been giving him affection. Anyway, so yeah, even like, so today when I dropped them off, there was parents, a husband and a wife dropping off their baby for the first time. He just started.
Oh.
And the baby is about, I'm going to say a little under 2 years old.
Okay.
And he's just learning to separate. And, it's like, we have like a transition period. So the thing they teach you at our preschool is like, routine is key. Routine is super key when you make like transitions into anything.
Sure.
So for example, right now we have a routine with me and my baby. Like, I open the door, he walks in, we go to his cubby, he gets his hat, he puts it on. We go by like this area, we sit down, I tell him I'm leaving, I love him. We do the same routine every day.
Sure.
And in the beginning, the teacher told me to read the specific book before I left. And that was like the goodbye book, right?
Okay.
And it's funny because now I see when parents reading the book and the kids are starting to cry. Like,
oh, no.
Mama, I love you. And it's like the worst thing because you're as a parent and like imagine that are you going to cry?
I'm like, I can't even fathom.
No,
I'm like, you're taking me into the dark side right now.
So and then as I was leaving today, I say goodbye to my baby. My baby just kind of makes like, and then he like doesn't care anymore. Now he starts flower rearranging because that's what I did today.
Oh, that's awesome.
So a flower arrangement workshop. So then as I was leaving, the parents were out there like just listening to see what time their kid stops crying. And I'm like, just walk away.
Yeah, just let it go.
I'm like, really? I'm like, just trust me. Just keep going with your day.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
You're not going to go back and get him.
Why are you torturing yourself? I would totally be that mom, by the way.
I was that mom, though. I remember like the first couple times, like I cried.
Yeah.
Here's the
I would 100%, I'd be crying.
Of course. But here's where I told him, I was like, the worst with me is my baby couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
So he would like crawl over to the door, and it was like, he couldn't like really talk.
So was there windows? Like, can you see in?
No,
Thank
no.
God.
There's no windows or anything.
Oh,
like
good.
it's just it's a backyard, so like
Sure.
you can probably see through the cracks of the wood.
Okay.
But yeah, I just kind of know it's really, really tough.
Yeah.
But I think to make the transition easier when you go into like a preschool ending, I think what she taught me was like the routine is key. Routine is so key in the kids' lives early on. I think routine is key in us.
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a non-routine becomes a routine. Like everything becomes a routine. Like it's so easy to fall into a really bad routine. You don't even realize you're in a routine. Your routine is to get up, watch Netflix till, 12 and you're like, I don't have a routine. No, wake
that's
up.
your routine.
That's your routine.
Yeah.
Like you're,
And when your routine shifts, there's like a shock because you're like, and then you're out of it. Right. And then you're kind of like, I'm out of my routine. Almost the same thing when you like travel and you come back. It's like jet lag, right? Like kids go through the exact same thing. And we forget that if we get all messed up from our routine, can you imagine what that does to their kids?
Absolutely.
That's why I've always been that's why I've always been so keen on like scheduling my baby. And even when I'm home with him, like always the snaps at the same time. Even now when we've been starting to potty train for a bit now. So like now when we wake up, even if he cries, I take him to the bathroom. Okay. And if you sit down, today he sat down.
Aww.
Yesterday he asked me he was like, Popo. He sat down and he peed and he got up. And I was like, look at you.
Yeah.
There's still like a long ways to go, but.
That's
so what's your routine now? Or like, do you have a routine? How is it? So anyway, how is it?
Okay.
Sorry.
So
we like diverted into preschool life.
I try to incorporate as much structure as I can just to keep myself like sane. Mm-hmm. So we've always done like grateful fors, which is the first thing we do in the morning when we wake up is do 10 grateful fors, what we're grateful for. Whether it's the pillow, whatever
But like, is it like, do you write it down?
Oh yeah. So we sit up, we have like journals on our phone.
When you say we?
Oh yes. My fiance and I.
Okay.
We sit up, we have journals on our phone and we write down like 10 things that we're grateful for. We've been on and off consistently about like with this, but lately it's like we need to create some structure. Like this needs to be part of prayer, right?
Yeah.
So it sets our day.
Do you like peek into his like
okay, so this is what we do. So the power of being grateful is not only to write it down, but you have to say it. If you say it in your head, it has like one level of power, but if you actually verbalize it, then it has another level of power. So if you speak the words out into the universe, like demand it. So we each take turns. So I'll say, after we write it down, I say I'm grateful for the pillow. It could be minuscule. Because 10 new ones every day. You really have to find gratitude in everything that surrounds
10
you.
new ones?
10 new ones every day.
Wow.
So
it's harder than it sounds, ladies. Just BTW.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll say my grateful for, he says his grateful for, and after
you sometimes copy yours?
You know what's funny is we each write them individually, and it is so crazy how in sync we are. Like sometimes the sun...
Or maybe he just writes 3 and it's like, I'm just going to copy everything from her. And you're like, we're so in sync. He's like, I know, right?
No, he has to write his on his own separately. So after we're just reading them together.
I'm just saying, maybe you should check his.
Maybe, yeah. So
so they're like,
I know. He's like,
that's true. But cheater.
I gotta be the cheater. Then we just read our grateful for out loud, and simultaneously together we say thank you 3 times. And with every like thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like you're feeling more gratitude for that specific thing that you're grateful for. And because we're doing it together in collaboration, it just feels more cohesive, more power. Like he's putting power into what I'm grateful for. I'm putting power into what he's grateful for. So that's what we do.
I can see you waking up in the morning, like right in the morning, you get your phone, like, Alfonso, get your phone. That's grateful.
That's exactly what it's like. So
she's like, I'm done. Are you done?
Yeah.
I'm done first. I won.
I beat you. So then Alfonso takes Benicio. It's his responsibility to like change the diaper and
morning time.
Yeah, and play with him and just give me some time to like for myself since I've been up at night and with him. Mm-hmm. And breakfast And then we decide whether we're going to go on a hike, whether we're going to go on a walk,
I love that you're always outside.
Yes.
I love that.
I have been an outdoors being ever since I was a very little girl. I lived in front of like a hills forest, very similar to what you see in front of your house, these lovely hills and trees. There was like a creek, and almost every day after school, I would run to the creek and I would lose myself for 2 or 3 hours in the creek just playing. I really felt like connected to earth. I could go to the same piece of earth for years, weeks, whatever, and no me cansa. I don't get tired of it.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. It's very true to who I am. Yeah. So I have to be connected to earth. If I'm not, I start to get anxiety. Like, I need God in my life. And
okay, so then you go outside.
Yeah, go outside. Decide what we're gonna do for lunch. There's little Benicio.
Like, Mom, I'm hungry.
Yeah, pretty much. Where's your boob? And babe, do you want to take him outside a little bit? Maybe that'll distract him. And decide what we're going to do for lunch, cook together, and then see if we have any errands to run or anything to do in the afternoon, whether it's recording, editing, whatever the case may be.
And how often are you guys publishing new episodes?
So I recently was like, I'm going to do 2 episodes a week, Makeup Mondays and, Mommy Wednesdays. And I realized last week that I bit off way more than I could chew. And there's just like no way. And it's so hard because you have your consistent viewers that are like, I love your mommy videos. I've learned so much, blah, blah, blah. And then you have people like, I'm loving these new makeup videos. Keep doing it. So I'm like, who do I please? And I realized like I can't please everybody. I have to just publish 1 video a week, 2 if things are good, and if they're not, I can't be hard on myself.
No, it's true. And I mean, as long as you're creating content once a week, I think that helps for anyone that's starting like a new blog or
Absolutely.
There's this girl who we met at the social who started a new blog called Somos Padres, somos-padres.com. I encourage everybody to go check it out. Her blog is full of it. Right now she has 2 posts, but there's such great information. One about like respectful parenting, and she sent me her blog for me to like check out, and I was like, that's so cool. And I'm like, girl, just make sure you're consistent in posting. Yes. I think that's like key.
Yes.
I mean, aside obviously from like branding perspective and having like don't having like misspellings and stuff, I think that creating constant content is key.
Absolutely. You talk about routine, and you have to like put yourself in your audience perspective, which is who you are creating content for. You have to give them a routine. You have to give them something to look forward to. Like, It's Tuesday morning. I know that Super Mamás is going to be on. I want to, so when it wasn't on in the morning, I would text Bricia like, where is it?
Because you're a rough week. We're not going to have one Tuesday today.
And I totally get it. And it's absolutely forgiving. But for the most part, that you can, it's part of your routine. Right.
Or like this Target Thursday episode.
Exactly.
We should just go to Target right now. Every time I do this Target Thursday episode, I'm like, maybe I should go to Target. It'll give me an excuse. Like if my husband tells me something, I'd be like, but it's a Target Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Absolutely.
Like I have to go to Target.
Yes.
You know how I just went through my whole house rearranging thing?
Yes. I love it, by the way. Great job.
I've been going to Target like all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe now that like back to school too, like it's like, oh, well, the baby needs new clothes.
Oh,
and,
yeah. We went to Target yesterday and we walked by the back to school aisle, and I was looking at like all the gel pens, all the notebooks, all the stickers. And I was telling Alfonso, I was like, oh my gosh, don't you just wish you were in school again? This makes me want to go back to school. He's like, Linda, think about it. I'm like, okay, yes, but there's something so nostalgic. Mm-hmm. We bought colored pencils, and we bought therapeutic coloring books. Mm-hmm. I bought a color creative therapeutic coloring book, and Alfonso got a creative therapeutic coloring book. And I was like, yes, this is what back to school is all about. It's like all these awesome things.
I have this new desk area, like workstation here at my house now, and I was like, ooh, I get to buy all these things now. And like paper clips and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, what is it?
Yeah. I totally get
it.
it.
It was like the funniest thing about going back to school, to be honest with you. Like,
I loved it.
Like, I remember like the first
Lisa
labeling,
Frank.
labeling everything, and and you have your notebooks and tabs like period 1, period 2, period 3.
Oh my gosh,
with like a different thing behind, and then you put like stickers in the front, and like you had like a new backpack, like the whole you having like a new backpack. It was just like so cool, and like the way people wear their backpack, and like people wear their backpack a different way.
Totally, I was so psycho that I had a little schedule that I would set every Sunday of what I was going to wear Monday, Tuesday. All my outfits were yes, I was crazy. All my outfits were preset, and I would tape my little paper onto the corner of my desk. Actually, I wouldn't tape it. I'm lying. I had a desk that had a piece of glass, and I would stick my little, like, what I'm going to wear for the week. I would style all my outfits. That way I would... I'm not even kidding.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty...
And with that, I will say goodbye. I don't think I can top that story, but thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Yes,
we promise Paulina will be back next week, but then I'll be gone the following week, so then we'll see who her co-host is. Maybe you'll be back.
Maybe I'll be back. Thank you so much for having me.
You guys don't forget to follow us on Instagram @_Super Mamás and visit our website, supermamaspodcast.com. And also actually check out our events page. We have a couple events coming up, ladies, so stay tuned for that, supermamaspodcast.com/events. And don't forget to follow my girl, Luz Warrior, at LUZWARRIOR, Luz Warrior on Instagram. And your YouTube channel one more time.
And my YouTube channel, We Have Issues. Issues spelled ISSHOES.
I can't believe it took me so long to like figure that out. Like, oh, issues like shoes. Oh, I get it. All right, ladies, we're out of here. Super Mamas.
Super Mamas.
Bye.